it's green and go in the BriSCA Formula 2 final here at the Crewe Stadium tonight. And Darren Bingley hopefully seems to have sorted out his problems that he's had in the second heat. And he's got that clutch going right, and hopefully he'll be able to initiate him to wind that car up. But we've got a yellow flag situation. Oh no, it seems to be cleared. A little bit of confusion there between the starter and the steward. And we are still racing at the moment as Darren Bingley pursues number 83, Davy Stanford, through turns 3 and 4 as they chase down number 344, 655 and 347, Alan Nelson, who said to me earlier on that he was going to initiate some pain in this race. Alan Cole and Darren Bingley tangle, and Darren's got a bit of trouble, and it's allowed Keith Stanford through. And whether Darren's going to be able to get that gearbox going or not, it seems unlikely, and he's ground to a halt. That's left David Stanford, 83, off the hook, and he's away and driving clear, looking to take a final victory tonight here at the Crewe Stadium. But he's got the lower graders to contend with through these 20 laps as 344 Phil Woodall rides the wheels of number 13 Andy Ford, as both of them pursue number 151 Tony Lampard. Down the back straight they go, and it's number 86 Steve Booth who's leading on from 185 Richard Bell and 216 Neil Fitton. These first three C graders are leading through in tonight's grand final. Number 13 Andy Ford in his Tommy the Tank copy is trying to get through to the front as 151, number 85 and number 790 are battling their way through the pit turn, and that's allowed number 344 Phil Woodall to dive through amongst them, as does number 83 David Stanford as they now move through turns 3 and 4. But it's number 86 Steve Booth who's still leading them through from 185 and 216. Those first three white tops are battling it on, and that's allowed number 86 Steve Booth to get away. The ex-mini stock red top is certainly putting his metal to the fore tonight, and he's moving himself to be in quite a good class as he goes down to complete yet another lap clear of number 185 Richard Bell, who's also having a reasonably good night. 151 Tony Lampard with his smoking offside rear tyre is battling away with number 13 Andy Ford, and the yellow top sees his chance, dives through on the inside of Ford and moves back into that third spot as they move through turns 3 and 4. 790 Mark Taylor also looking on the inside line, and he now pursues number 185 Richard Bell. 344 Phil Woodall is also looking for an inside line down the number 13 Andy Ford car as they move through the pit turn, and number 33 Keith Stanford is also pursuing his brother through the higher placings here in tonight's grand final. Number 86 is away and clear from number 790 Mark Taylor through the pit bend, and number 83 David Stanford, he is now in third place. 185 is trying to hold off 344 Phil Woodall as they move through the pit turn, and right behind them in his mirror is the number 33 Keith Stanford. The Scotsman tries to get through on the inside, but he's blocked by 185 Richard Bell, and that's caused him a little bit of problem at the moment, and he's dropped a little bit of time, and his brother is now up to a third of a lap ahead of him. Still leading down the back straight is number 86 Steve Booth. 790 Mark Taylor is now battling with number 83 David Stanford for that second spot. Taylor goes wide and has allowed number 83 to try and have a sneak preview through the inside, but he powers down on the outside with that loud pedal and shuts the door firmly in Stanford's face. 344 is right there with him. Phil Woodall in his brand new car trying to put the bumper in on the Stanford car through turns 3 and 4. And the blue top is not trying to give way to either of them, and the red top's in between the two. 790 from 83 and number 344 as 776 comes to an abrupt halt, claiming the number 33 car of Keith Stanford. 790 is still holding out, and he's got about a 2-car length lead ahead of number 83 David Stanford. The battle is ensuing between these three for the major places in this race, as we're looking for the leader to come through any time, and it looks to be number 790, who is in fact leading this one now from number 83 and 344. Those are your top three in tonight's grand final here at the Crewe Stadium. Alan Nelson is putting through a sterling drive in his Pete Hall car, and he's got fifth at the moment. Ahead of him and having a lonely race in this one is number 827 Alan Cole. He's lying in fourth at the moment, but the battle now is between 790 Mark Taylor, number 83 David Stanford. Stanford's trying to sneak through on the inside. He bumps the bumper in, and Taylor's got the lead. Taylor's trying to put the bumper in again on number 83 David Stanford, but Stanford's got the The drop now on number 790, Mark Taylor, and it's the Scotsman who's trying to lead away from the man from Bacup, Lancashire. 3:44, Phil Woodall's trying to keep the top two in his sights, and he's moving, flying through turns 3 and 4 with 5 to go this time. 3:44 third, 790 second, number 83 is first. The Formula 2 final is settling down in its final stages now, as the fellow boot tops are battling the way through past the back marker to 616 Andy Foxall, and that's allowed number 83 Davy Stanford a clear way around. He's only got 4 to go this time. 790 and 3:44 are battling for the second spot, as number 83 seems to be beyond them. Stanford is showing his liking for the Crewe Railway in quite a clear style, making up for his brother's misfortune in this one. Keith took the heat. It's David who's going to take the final. 790 from Phil Woodall in 3:44. Whether those are going to swap positions before the checkered flag comes down is going to be resolved in just a few moments' time, as this time it's only 2 to go this time. The 2 to go board is showing for David Stanford. He's still clear as he tries to pursue number 216, a smoking Neil Fitton. The back marker is impeding 83 David Stanford just a touch, but he's gone wide through turns 3 and 4, and it's Stanford who moves through, lapping the back markers with quite a significant degree of ease. 790 looks comfortable in second. 3:44 is still in third. Is he going to try and put the bumper in on that last time? The opportunity is looking slight now, but in goes the bumper, and Taylor feels it through turns 3 and 4. Will Phil Woodall try and get that move? But it's the checkered flag that's come down for number 83 David Stanford. Taylor holds out for second in 790, and third was 3:44 Phil Woodall. Coming home a distant fourth was 827 Alan Cole, and in fifth, a quite credible 3:47 Alan Nelson. In sixth was 185 Richard Bell, and that completes tonight's grand final here at the Crewe Stadium.